Welcome to CEO Money and Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. All right, I have Jennifer Loehding here, and I also have Miss Amy Lafitte with me. They are the Starter Girls, and they are brought to you by VentureX.com, a new partner of CEO Money and WFN1. Ladies, welcome to the show, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, tell us about your show. You guys are a ball of energy. I want to hear about your show and the guests and what you're doing. So who wants to start?
Yeah, we're having an amazing time with the show. The whole idea of Starter Girls really was just about empowering women. That was the whole premise behind it. And so we're having just a great time going out networking, finding people to put on there, entrepreneurs, athletes. Today we launched a podcast out that was amazing. Had a 3-time trial Olympic qualifier on there today, Dawn Grunagel, phenomenal runner here in the Dallas Metroplex. And she'll be competing in the Olympic trials on February 19th in Atlanta. So we're super excited about her. But not only that, she's also an entrepreneur. So she's not only an athlete, but she's an entrepreneur. And I think it's such an amazing thing because having her on the show, we were actually able to tap in there and get into that mindset behind both of those. So super exciting.
What were some of the insights you got from that interview? Either, and chime in too.
Sure. I think one of the things that we've really enjoyed, funny enough, we were just having this conversation about athletes, is we have been entrepreneurs and also kind of delved into athleticism, but there definitely is a correlation between the two, because you've got mindset, you have somebody that's really competing against themselves, they're getting out of their comfort zone, just being willing to do things that are uncomfortable and stretch themselves to new levels. And so when we were looking at Starter Girls, it was just the idea of women starting things. I think sometimes women are scared to start things, and I think the older you get, the more you live in your mind of just that, what are people going to think, and I'm going to fail. But that's really what a lot of it is. Whether you're an athlete or you're an entrepreneur, you're going to fail forward to success. And so it's been fun bringing different thought leaders in. We've got a gal coming in next week that is a keto thought leader and really helps the people a lot with keto nutrition. And so just bringing different elements to the table. And I think for us, just always being learners. We're always about learning and growing and continuing on in our own, personal development.
Let's get into the insights of women empowerment, getting the message out, and some of the things that you're trying to get accomplished with the groups that you two are involved with. So either one of you, tell me about what your goals are and how the mechanics of bringing it out to the world are.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a firm believer that, when women are strong as a whole, everybody in their circle is strong, including their kids, including their circle of friends, their, whether they're employers, their employees, spouses. And so the whole podcast really, for me, is about personally empowering women so that when they go out into the world, they're better about selecting the circle that they have in their space and really perpetuating that with their children, just making their children strong leaders. And we just know when people are happier as a whole and they're strong, the world's a more peaceful place. And so I'm just really big on empowering women and just making them strong. And so I think it's so fun. And when we were talking about insights, I think just having Dawn on the show was such a great thing because she came from humble beginnings. And really to watch these women, even like I was telling Amy the other day, when they come in, a lot of women, Amy and I have like this incredible background. We were in a company that had amazing leadership. We had mentors, amazing mentors. And so we were in this big almost bubble. And a lot of people don't really have that. A lot of women don't get that. And so for us, we have the ability to go out there and share what we've learned with these women. And so having, like Dawn come in there, I told Amy, I said, there's some little part of me that just really thinks that day when she was in there that we had just a small little impact on her. She gave us some great stuff, but then we also gave her a little bit of amazing things too. And so I think it's such a really neat thing what we're getting to do and be able to do it in this form.
That really makes it rewarding for what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So the guests that you have coming up, and I wanted to get into that because I do my own interviews. I try and pick out who I think is really going to deliver for me and I'm going to learn from. That's really my focus. What am I going to get from the interview versus how am I going to try and make them look? And I want to know some of the things that some of the high points that you two have gotten from some of the guests that have helped your growth and really your enthusiasm for helping other people.
Yeah, well, and one of the big things that I personally do in my life is I love the idea of living extraordinarily and also encouraging other people to do it. And I think, sometimes we go to the movies and we see that, we see somebody that climbed Mount Everest, but then you go back to your normal life and you're like, how does that really work? And so, bringing somebody on that actually has climbed Mount Everest and what that looks like. And for me, it's been really fun because I'm a very creative, questioning kind of person. So I always have these interesting questions that I could almost ask anybody. And so just having the opportunity to ask somebody who has been up Everest, what is that like, and the good parts of it and even the bad parts of it. I mean, if you read enough about Everest, you hear about Green Boots, the guy who's still up on Everest and he's not with us anymore. So just funny questions like that where you really get to delve in. One of my friends moved to the Netherlands and, born and raised in the United States, now lives in the Netherlands. And what does that look like? What does that look like on a daily basis? And so just for me, it's almost like a chance to quell my curiosity and ask all sorts of interesting questions. And just the idea that I could pass that on where we have real life examples of not just somebody that was in the movies that went and moved to Europe, but a real life person that we know and what that actually looks like to really encourage people to think about that idea of, well, if they did it, maybe I could do this smaller version.
That's a good answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what have you learned?
Oh, I've learned all kinds of things. I think that it's just been so much fun to get around these ladies and just see a lot of it. We like to bond with other women. And so for me, a lot of it is just getting to know these people and learning their backgrounds and find the similarities. But like I said, the one thing that's common, I think, among all of us is that there's that common thread of grit, tenacity, persistence, learning to overcome obstacles. And I think when you have other people in there that can relate to those people, I think that's what's neat. And so them coming in there, for me, I can relate to them, our listeners can relate to them, and they can find something in there, even if it's somebody, as incredible as a Mount Everest climber, they may not be able to relate to that, but there's something in her podcast that will resonate, something in there that they will be able to pick up and go, you know what, maybe today I'm going to go start running that half marathon, and if that's what we get from it, then that's what it's all about for me.
So I get you two as a really verbal support group from the people that you come into working with. What types of groups really enthuse you about joining and going out and interacting with? Where do you get your ideas from to go? I'm going to go work with this group because I believe in what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So there's values out there that you two align with. Tell our audience what the values are that really drive what you do and give you the passion that you have, because you have a lot of passion from here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I would say for me, when I think about all of the opportunities that we have received, we live in the United States, just coming from a middle class family and all of the opportunities that I have been awarded and achieved, when I start thinking about groups that I can get involved with, or the whole reason why I want to be successful, it's really to give an opportunity back to our community, not only in the United States, but also globally. One of my big passions is for people to have water. Because you think about it, if you get up in the morning, no matter where you live in the world or what your life looks like, the first thing you think about is, I'm kind of thirsty, And if the whole thing is you've got to go walk 5 hours with a jug on your head to go to a dirty watering hole, there's got to be a better way to do that. And so that has become a very big passion of mine, is to help build water wells in third world countries, because if we can at least start with that, that's step one, right? And getting people going in the right direction. So, and I know Jennifer and I, we do a lot of networking, and we're always looking for ways that we can give back to the community. Even our Olympian, she is a big proponent of giving back to the community when she was talking about her Speed Kids. So Jennifer can probably talk more about that.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. The Speed Kids is phenomenal. That organization that she created, it's expanding, and both my two youngest were able to take part in that, and they do a lot of community service. I remember being in there, and one time I was telling Amy, one time we had to clean graffiti off of the walls. And the kids, I don't know if they understood it, we did, or we packed bags at MetroCrest for some of the needy kids. And so, yeah, I think a lot of it for us is really just finding people that resonate with what our core values are. I'm a big animal fan, and so Amy and I know my things. I always look for organizations where I can give back in that area. And children, of course, and families. And so, yeah, we do a lot of networking. When we're out, we look for people that are going to have similar values. Being a mom, I'm obviously resonate with moms very well, and especially working women that are out really grinding and trying to build something for their family, create something where maybe they can get back into the homes with their children, but be able to have an executive level income and create and manifest something for their family. So yeah, it's just really about getting out there and networking. And we talk about the 6 degrees of separation. Who do you know that knows someone? And we do this constantly, Amy and I. We're in there going, who knows this person that's doing this or creating this? Put them in touch with us. We want to talk to them. So we're having a lot of fun with it, and it's just neat to learn about these people and get to know them and their backgrounds and where they're headed. And
When is your podcast?
we do Tuesdays at noon. Is
Okay.
when we air. So we just launched one today, and then we'll have another one going out next week. We get excited about it.
Yeah.
Good. Give our audience where they can find you.
You can find us on Starter Girls with the Z. We always say the Z because we like to be a little bit different. We like to be a little bit different. But yeah, Starter Girls with the Z, and Tuesdays at noon. We do have a website as well. It's startergirls.com.
And iTunes and pretty much every podcast platform. So
Wherever you find it.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Ladies, thanks for joining with me.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
having us.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, download our app on the homepage of our website. Talk to you soon.